The SmackDown Women's title stuff was a complete waste of time. So I mentioned this earlier, but Nikki Cross was supposed to be going for the championship before she had to be pulled from the pay-per-view the very last minute, forcing WWE to put anyone else in that spot instead. Now, I don't want to say anyone, just because Dana Brooke being in that spot, like, who would have given two fucks, but, like, at the same time, it's better than Asuka. Now, this had the potential to be a better match than that, but Asuka and Bayley have already had a bunch of matches already. I mean, not just overall since 2016 when they first faced off, but in the last couple of months alone, they've had at least 3 or 4 matches. I can recall at least one match they had on Raw. I feel like they had a second match on Raw, but I might be wrong. I'm pretty sure they did have 2 matches on Raw. And then a third match at SummerSlam. So that would make this the 4th match that these two have had in the last 2 or 3 months, which is completely ridiculous. The match, I realized, only went 3 minutes, but it shouldn't have happened in the first place. You just have Bayley say that she is defending it, she wins by forfeit, and then that's it. Asuka, especially after already wrestling earlier on in the evening, should not have been out there. So Sasha comes out, Sasha attacks Bayley, and she's still wearing the neck brace. But you know this fucking company could not help themselves because they did this whole Bayley-Sasha angle. And yeah, I guess I'm glad. I'm supposed to be happy they didn't do the match at this pay-per-view, but they're holding off at least 1 month. Like, they should have held off 3 or 4 months. Yeah, WrestleMania is way off. I've said that before. I've gone on the record and saying it might be a little extreme to wait until WrestleMania to do this match. But just to blow it, I don't know if they'll blow it off, but I just don't think their first match should be inside Hell in a Cell. That's my problem. We are very clearly headed in that direction, though. Per at WrestleVotes, which is a very reliable source more often than not, reported, I believe on Tuesday, that currently, as plans, stand right now, as things stand right now, Bayley and Sasha is scheduled to main event that pay-per-view on October 25th. Now, I completely get it. The Mandalorian Season 2 is coming out in late October. Sasha's in it. Honestly, here's my issue with the whole thing. Okay? So, I want Sasha to be Bayley ultimately. I do. Can they have Bayley win here and then go on to lose to Sasha at a later date? Absolutely. Whether it be the Rumble, WrestleMania, whatever. They could definitely do that. I've seen it before. They could do it here as well. My issue is that if Sasha loses to Bayley, okay, she will have lost to all 4 horsewomen inside Hell in a Cell. Like, that may not seem like a big deal to most people, but it bothers me just thinking about it. That Sasha would have lost to Charlotte 4 years ago. She would have lost to Becky last year inside Hell in a Cell. And she would have lost to Bayley at Hell in a Cell this year. Therefore, kind of cementing her as the weakest of the 4 horsewomen. So, I mean, again, Bayley beating her isn't a bad idea. I actually kind of prefer that. But it doesn't make Sasha look the greatest. And the fact that it would headline and, I don't know. I don't love that idea. I really don't. I really feel like they're fast-tracking it. Just because it is a match. Listen, if they did it at TLC, I feel like it would be okay. They could still do the match next month and not have it be inside Hell in a Cell. Given the nature of their story, it does make sense for it to be in there. I just wouldn't have their first match. Their first major pay-per-view one-on-one match be inside fucking Hell in a Cell. I don't like that at all. But that's what we're getting. And hey, you know what? Sasha may very well win. And then they blow the whole thing off there. But I feel like they could milk a couple more months out of this, which I never thought I would say, but based off what they've done so far, I had faith that they could have waited at least until Survivor Series or TLC or the Rumble to do that first match. Clearly, I was wrong, and now we're getting into Hell in a Cell very likely. So we'll see what they do with it. And again, don't get me wrong. I'm sure the match is going to be great. I just don't agree with hot-shotting it. And I know they've been telling this story now for 4 years. Just fucking get to the point already. But that initial injury angle was so fucking brutal that to bring Sasha back so quickly, in my opinion, is a massive mistake.